Hi everyone, welcome to Real Life Book 4, the look at what's been going on in the world. Just want to start with the absolute shock that Real Life Book 3 was rejected and taken down by YouTube for inappropriate content. For a while I thought this was maybe perhaps something to do with the 5 minutes of BBC footage I used at the end. But much like the links I had in the bottom of that video, let me just straighten up my camera a bit here. Much like the links I had in that video at the bottom of the Ultra-Zionists and the Horizon program, What is Reality? YouTube is absolutely chock-a-block of BBC copyright footage, and the BBC doesn't seem to mind. There's 1-hour documentaries all over YouTube from the BBC. So, what's happened with Real Life Book 3 is that one of the viewers flagged it, made an official complaint to YouTube for what I believe there's 2 reasons why they could have done that. The first group would be some weirdo who said, oh, he's put the personal details of that woman from One Hyde Park, the millionaire's residence, where I voicemailed her on the video. The second point, which I don't know is quite as likely, but Danny Shine was talking about a symbol, and he was talking about the swastika, because I was with him that day, and we were talking about the fucking swastika. So for illustration purposes, because he didn't actually mention the swastika as this incredible symbol which can, you know, brainwash people. You can walk down the street with your swastika and elicit and evoke the most incredible feelings in people. So in a way, that's mind control through symbolism. So as he was saying this, I put the swastika there. There are a couple of little Zionists who do watch my films, picking and looking for little mistakes and calling me an anti-Semite, which is very ironic because my girlfriend is a quarter Jew, and Danny, the guy who I started the Love Police with, is fully Orthodox Jew. So for me being an anti-Semite, like, fuck off, you fucking weirdos. Anyway, brings me on nicely to my second point. But anyway, I tried uploading Real Life Book 3 to Dailymotion, but it's too long. So I know it's been reposted a few times on the on YouTube. So if you can find it, find it. It's an okay episode, I guess. It was nice enough. There's some good chemtrail stuff in there. But you probably have noticed in this video there is no comment section beneath this, and that's for a very good reason. I think of the hundreds of thousands of views or millions of views that I get, 99% of those people who watch do not leave a comment. They don't even like it or dislike it. They just watch it and move on and get on with their lives. But there is, of the 1%, and that's still a few thousand people, of the 1% who do comment, a lot of these people consider it their personal notice board to espouse their ridiculously fucked up weirdo energy onto everyone else. And it's not even a massive criticism that they're throwing against me, because if that were the case, they could do a video to rebuke me, they could write to me, they could, you know, do something else, email me, whatever, just send their ideas. But there is this strange weirdo fucked up psychopathic energy which people are constantly putting on the comment section, and I've had to block a few people for this very purpose. And I know there are going to be howls of people going all over my other videos which haven't had the comments section blocked. They're going to be saying, oh, Charlie's into censorship, oh, look at this, here's someone who believes in free speech, blocking me here, blocking me there. And they'll find other videos of the Love Police from other people's channels to write their insane fucking bullshit. These people are time wasters and cowards, and having their stupid fucking shit written all over the bottom of my films is distracting, annoying, and I think because we are living in this giant mind control, manipulated reality sort of things, what we're seeing there is the kind of virus infected inability of some people to fucking cope with what I'm trying to talk about. And to me, that's one of the greatest tragedies of what I do, is that there is this hardcore fucked up weirdo army of people who have nothing better to do with their lives than to become obsessed with a guy trying to do fucking films to inspire and wake up other people. And it's like I've become the fucking target. So I'm going to play a song at the end of this little film dedicated to all the YouTube haters, to all the fucked up, programmed, psychopathic, fucktard fuckwits who ruin it for everyone else by being unable to write me a personal message, to whatever. They just hate, 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 hate. Go fucking watch something else. You guys, the 99% of you who watch and most of you who comment, I do this for you. It's the kind of symbiotic relationship of me, my camera, what I do, what I'm trying to achieve, which is for everyone. It's for you guys. So, anyway. Egypt has overthrown Hosni Mubarak, the black dyed-haired fanatic dictator who ruled that country with an iron fist by sucking the Israeli cock, which is fully funded by their Anglo-American slaves in Britain and America. The House of Rothschild has really infected the entire Western industrialized world. And I was in Norway, in Oslo, for the last 5 days, and I'll come on to that in a minute. But we're seeing military rule in Egypt now, which, it is a genuine people's uprising, but when it doesn't get taken forward past that military rule, and they've kicked all the protesters out of Tahrir Square, Freedom Square, and they're banning strike action. The military rule has banned labor leaders from meeting in case they go on strike. So out with the old boss. The new boss has come in. He's same as the old boss. It's another dictatorship. It's military rule. I am against the whole fucking concept of military, which is rows of uniformed young men, Sieg Heil, obediently marching towards their own fucking annihilation, being brainwashed, their whole warrior instinct as human beings hijacked by these dark machine men who have been doing this for thousands of years. But no more. This is it. This is really it. This is it, man. We're seeing the exact same protests kicking off now in Yemen, in Algeria, in Bahrain, which I've visited. I've been to Bahrain a few times when I lived in Qatar in the Middle East. Very interesting country, but again, a brutal, religious and royal dictatorship. They use religion to control the fucking people, and we're the fucking royal family. But the big one that we're seeing now is Iran. Iran's kicking off, and Hillary Clinton sticks her elitist, establishment, eugenically driven snout into it straight away with, we support the Iran protests, we support the Iran protests. And this is a very fucking woman who just weeks ago has been saber-rattling and talking about a preemptive nuclear strike against Iran. You cannot nuclear strike an establishment of government. It's always against civilians. It's like we are living through the great plan of the ages. And unfortunately, down to our poor luck, as the old Chinese proverb says, it's a curse. Let them live in interesting times, and we live in the most interesting times now. We are living in the great plan of the ages, and its accelerated final phase, kicked off with the false flag attack of 9/11. And for anyone who watches, who goes, oh my God, he's a conspiracy theorist, this is how good the brainwashing is, the mainstream mind control operating system, that anyone who sees through it, who just looks at those fucking buildings collapsing, exploding, being blown to pieces in pyroclastic dust for hundreds of meters, when you see the detonation charges, when you look at Building 7, controlled demolition by the middle, coming down uniformly, perfectly. I sometimes lose faith completely because, we are the slaves in this great plan of the ages since, before Plato's Republic, when they're ordering everything into the perfect hierarchy pyramid with God at the top, man, horse, woman, cat, rat, stone, fire, earth. Everything they believe in this reasonable, rational, logical God, and they want to become God and there is a natural order of things they believe, because they believe, oh, my God is this rational mathematician, and I am Pythagorean, I am Aristotelian, I am Platonic. I will become the evil elite who doesn't see us, and by us I mean the normal viewer watching this video. They don't see us as equal. And one of the main reasons I've become overwhelmingly vegan and mostly vegetarian, although I will happily admit on camera I still very, very rarely eat meat. I was in Oslo with my friends over there, and I ate meat because I am also polite, and when I'm at a table and they've provided food, I will eat that food. But I've managed to cut out, I'd say, about 95% of meat consumption in my diet. And this isn't because, like, I'm some sort of touchy-feely person and I want to save little furry animals. Well, part of me does, but it's mostly because when you wake up politically to what they're actually doing in this world, where we are free-range slaves, using our minds as our own prisons after being indoctrinated by the public school, you can't carry on eating that many animals who are farm-bred, they're battery-caged, they're shot in the back of the head with a bolt gun and hung upside down, living their whole lives on a patch of shit or in a metal fucking warehouse, never looking at sunlight. The way we treat animals, domesticated animals, is the exact, almost mirror image to how the elites have treated humanity in their great architectural plan to create the new world order, the great pyramid artifice within this stunning, fractal, beautiful, harmonious, natural environment we have. So what you're doing when you eat meat, when you go and eat a burger, or when you buy mincemeat and you make whatever, when you eat steak, when you eat chicken nuggets, you're filling your body with slave energy. Those animals never had a taste of freedom. They were bred and domesticated and treated like shit, much like we are. And what you're doing is you're saying, oh, I'm okay with this. I'm fine with it. I will do it to things, to sentiences I consider less than me in the great social Darwinist scale. So when you eat meat, you're basically telling the elites, you're telling the royal families, you're telling the big industrialists, the Morgans, the Rockefellers, the Rothschilds, you're telling them, I believe in a hierarchy pyramid where the more powerful can fuck on those beneath me, but I don't. So don't keep eating so much meat at the supermarket. It's wrong, but oh man, I'm full of, I don't know what I'm full of today, but you can see I'm wearing warm clothes. We're trying to use less heating here in this house. It's a big house, there's lots of people living here. It's a shared house, so it's very cheap. But we got an energy bill for electricity and gas for the last 3 months, over the coldest winter Britain has seen for a generation, for probably 100 years. The coldest fucking winter, when Al Gore and all his platoon of expert scientists telling us we're under global warming. Anyway, that bill came to £780. That's about 1,200 US dollars for 3 months energy to stay warm, to have warm water. So we try and put on more clothes now, because it's these big energy companies that have monopolies, and they're all part of the same gang, killing children to get their oil, to then sell it to us at inflated prices so that we struggle to live, so that we are lowered down, you know, from people with a high standard of living to serfs, to peasants like the Indians and Chinese. That's what they want the Western world to turn into. And when you start doing the research, it's obvious. It's written in their own books. It's written in the UN agendas. It's written in the documents of the Council of Foreign Relations. It's all there, what they're doing. We're living in the accelerated age of annihilation, where they are looking to cut down the world population massively through disease, through famine, and through warfare, down to a manageable level where they can have their new world order and live as the machine-enhanced, spiritual, electronic, brain-chipped, fucking enhanced reality gods above the 500 million controlled monkeys who live beneath them. And these monkeys are the human beings. It's us. So please, ladies and gentlemen, type in DUMB, deep underground military bases, into YouTube or into Google and just have a fucking look. And when you look at these facilities and realize the hundreds of billions of dollars it must have cost to build these facilities, you will see that something very strange is going on. And right now, like, I've almost even had enough. One of the reasons I left Facebook is because I don't need to watch more and more films about how bad and how evil it is. I know. So what I'm going to try and do with my films is to try and offer more solutions. And to me, the main solution for people in countries where you're able to do this is to simply arm yourself to the teeth and store up as much food and water that you need to maybe live for a year if everything goes to shit, which it will. And the reason why I say you need to arm yourself to the teeth is because in a disarmed country, in a society of warriors where only the state and criminals have weapons, you become the sheep when the wolves have decided to have lamb for dinner. So if everyone is equally armed, it's much less likely that you will be the victim of a black-booted fascist thug kicking down your house, taking your children away, and treating you like a slave. And it's no coincidence that two nuclear-armed countries have never gone to war yet, although I suspect this is the plan now in the accelerated dawning of the new age, in the accelerated change of annihilation we're going to see now. Arm yourselves to the teeth, store as much food and water as you can, and this goes alongside, if you're working a job which is where they tax you at source before it comes to you, if you're working for a corporation, it's time to quit now. I mean, what the fuck are you upholding? I know you've got mouths to feed, I know it's difficult to pay the mortgage, but you're basically supporting your own annihilation, your own destruction, with every tiny minute or dollar or pound that you pump back into this system. And when you wake up, and this is why I think so many people who watch my films aren't even fucking close to being politically awake, is that they'll watch, they'll feel inspired, they'll go, oh, that's great, love and light, the hugs, oh, it's lovely. And they'll go back to doing the exact same fucking things they did before. I took myself out of finance, I got fired, I didn't go for another job, I took the opportunity to never pay tax again, to start doing something I believe in, and I believe right now in this stage of human history, if you're not part of the resistance, you are part of the problem. And I don't want to sound like George Bush by saying either you're with us or with the terrorists, because I am doing this from a position of good, I'm trying to do this to help you guys. And when I say you're either part of the resistance or you're part of the problem, you know exactly what I mean. This isn't the time now for love and light. This isn't the time for hugs. This isn't the time to spend 5 years, because we don't have 5 years, trying to slowly hug the police and the armed forces and make them feel better about themselves. This is not the time to go outside Parliament with placards or on student protests or outside the White House or writing to your senator or your congressperson or whoever your local representative is. This is the time where the free human beings are waking up as lions. This is when the warriors say enough is enough, draw a line in the sand, and start the fight back. The imps of hell, the imps of Satan, the system fucking robots who are choosing to uphold the authority hierarchy will need to be taught a lesson. They will need to see what is coming to them. And part of this rant is brought out by seeing the kind of news from Egypt that it's kind of fizzling down and the military is still in charge. I would prefer to see, and this is what I've been calling for in so many of my films to be happening in Britain and Norway and America and Israel and all around the world, is for the people to overthrow the state, and that includes overthrowing the military. And that's why we need to be armed. That's why we need to be organized. That's why we need to be undomesticated, rewilded humans who will fight to the death rather than allow them to put handcuffs on you to throw you into a fucking concentration camp, which they've built all over the world. Not just in America with the FEMA camps. These secret camps are all over the world, and they're housing people right now who are termed Al-Qaeda. And we know it. I think, ladies and gentlemen, the mainstream mind control of media, of television, of public schooling, of the corporations, of the child abuse, which allows people to be manipulated because it stops you seeing what the fuck reality is all about when You're fucked by a priest, when you're abused, when you're neglected as a child because your parents have chosen to follow some weird religion or whatever. The mind control is too strong, and it's been developed by the most powerful foundations funded by these industrialist billionaires from 100 years ago to totally understand how the human mind works. And they're not stupid. The whole system is this elitist hierarchy where the people at the bottom are literally the sheeple, are the cattle, to be brainwashed and schooled and reared. I'd say reared like cattle in the livestock management program to do these weird jobs. And I think it's too late. I don't think alternative media, I don't think my films can pierce through the veil of illusion anymore. We have now approached the final warfare stage, and it is a battle, it is a fight. And this isn't something that, you know, you guys can write, like, oh, Charlie's lost the plot, he's been brainwashed, they got to him and he's now calling for violence. No, this is how I feel, okay? And I'm looking you in the eye right now. This is how I feel. And at least I've got the courage of my convictions to put it out there publicly, because someone has to say it, okay? It's important to know who our enemy is as we go about this, and it's very clear who the enemy is, and it's every little gowl, every ghoul, every troll, every little human being who has gone over to the dark side. And in Britain, that is every member of Parliament. This is every high-ranking judge in the legal system. This is everyone in the military, and I mean everyone. Of course there's good people like myself who at the age of 21 was brainwashed to go into it, but we didn't have the amount of information about what we have now. It includes everyone who has chosen to put their personal morality aside and hunt greed and money. And that goes for the top 500 corporations in this country. That goes for all the multinational corporations. I'm talking about the Israeli government, I'm talking about the American government, the Norwegian government, the German government, and all the Rockefeller and Rothschild foundations and all the eugenics programs, all the pharmaceutical companies. I know that comes under the banner of big corporations, but all the UN, especially the United Nations, founded from the League of Nations, the eugenics inspired and funded organization, all their vaccination in Africa, all the swine flu vaccination in the Western world. And I think I have to reserve a special enemy position, an adversary position for the mainstream media, which again is owned by the giant corporations, and they are not designed to give you truth. They are truly, and it's much worse than you actually think. It's not enough to say, oh yeah, they care about the bottom line, they're going to promote corporate interests, they're going to tell the public a lot of dumbed down nonsense. It's worse than that. The mainstream media considers you subhuman, like sub even caring about your mind in any way whatsoever. And every time you turn on the television, you're turning on your own destruction, your own enslavement, your own brainwashing. So, if we're going to name names, the Rothschilds organizations, and you can do the research and find out where their money goes, and this is the state of Israel, in my opinion, the greatest kind of thug client state of the New World Order at the present. And from the research I've done, I think Israel is going to be wiped off the face of the map. Not because the Muslim countries are going to get together and do it, it's because it's staged, it's planned. As Henry Kissinger said on ABC News just the other evening, what we are seeing right now is the first act in the first chapter of the first play. He's basically telling you that we're living through a script. As Carol Quigley, the historian of the CFR, said in Tragedy and Hope, every war of the last 100 years has had the hidden hand influence in it. And they know what they're doing. They've been doing it for hundreds of years. They've been doing it for thousands of years. And I'm a soldier now. I'm against it. I'm fighting it. I am part of, and again, to use fucking metaphors from Hollywood movies, but he had it spot on. George Lucas had it spot on. It is the Empire against the Rebel Alliance. It really is. And why do you think that film hits so many nails on the head? Is because it's fucking true. And the film The Matrix, again, with the human beings and the machine. And as Charlie Chaplin said in that great speech from the film The Great Dictator, these are machine men with machine hearts and machine minds. They are not like you and I. And one thing which separates the tribalism of human beings in grand society as opposed to the kind of pack mentality of wolves, of meerkats, of apes, of chimpanzees, is that we, as human beings, maybe because we're too conscious, we maybe overthink things, we will not turn on an obvious psychopath in our midst. We will we will promote them, we will give them higher jobs, the kind of executive CEOs who destroy the environment but as much as they can but return the biggest profit, the oil companies who, and today Barclays Bank posted £6 billion profit in this economic climate, a bank. People losing their houses, people committing suicide, elderly freezing to death because they can't afford heating, 1 million dead Iraqi children, and Barclays Bank, one of the biggest Illuminati fucking fronts, posts profits of £6 billion. That means last year they're making £500 million. That's $800 million per month. And you can break it down to the minute if you wanted to. And these people posting these incredible profits whilst the rest of us are destroyed. And so what I'm trying to say with this video is fuck you, all the time wasters and the commenters who are doing nothing but showing their own psychological inadequacies and their own insanity, and it is a great distraction from what I'm trying to achieve. So much like in the metaphor that if I'm out having dinner with friends and a fucked up weirdo comes and sits at the table and starts trying to dominate the conversation that I was having privately with my friends, you're not going to go, oh, I support free speech, let the weirdo sit with us. If we ask the weirdo to leave, or if we force the weirdo to leave, we are censoring him. No, fuck off, fuck you. Get your head around the idea that I'm making films, I'm trying to do the best I can, and all you do is nitpick, 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 and hate. So what I'm going to do now is provide you with a few images and dedicate this song to the Illuminati, to the New World Order proponents, to Tony Blair, to George Bush, to Barack Obama, to Benjamin Netanyahu, to all the CEOs, and to all the high-ranking executives in the legal profession, in the pharmaceutical profession, in the military, in the police, all the slaves who willingly wear this crown of Freemasonic control. This is my song for you. So to all my friends out there, thank you for remaining part of the resistance, and together we are going to start organizing something a lot more powerful now. We are in the end of days. The whole 2012 Mayan prophecy is the biggest predictive programming in the world, and the elites are going to use this fear, this consciousness, to start a global war, and they're going to try and decimate us. But I do believe that great evil is always challenged by something completely opposite to it, because every action has an equal and opposite reaction, and we are that reaction. We are the resistance, we are the revolution, we are the revolting peasants, the slaves who, like Spartacus, again one of the most seminal, stunning films of human freedom, like Spartacus, we are realizing we are slaves, and we will fight to the very death. Because if you realize you're a slave and you fight to the death, fighting for your freedom, are you really a slave? No. You're a human being. You're a free, liberated human being in a very difficult and challenging position, and your fight for freedom killed you, but you are not a slave. And I've always said, and again a guy called Trond, who took some amazing photographs in Norway, sent me a video of a guy who is a Yosemite Park pirate, and he does base jumping, and he does all sorts of incredible extreme sports, and he says he'd rather live for 40 years as a exhilarated, free, liberated human being than for 80 years in this kind of grey area, obeying orders and so forth. And I'd like to say the same. If I get killed tomorrow, if whatever happens during this fight and I die, I know in my heart that I lived free to the bitter end, and fuck anyone who comes for me, because we are infinite beings our souls live on forever. And they've tricked us with their scientific experts to say, oh, there is no afterlife, there is nothing beautiful, we are just flesh and blood consumers. It's not true. You are so fucking powerful. You just need to realize it, and you become invincible. Because yeah, they can rip my body to pieces, they can torture me, they can extract confessions, they can do anything, but they can't get your soul. And that's what the machine wants most of all. It wants to have a soul, and that's why it's creating this artificial world, but it's going to get annihilated and destroyed, because evil always self-destructs, because people like you and I will confront it. Anyway, whew. This song I just want to play with a few nice images for all the YouTube haters and all the elitists, Rothschilds, Barack Obamas that I mentioned before. I class you all in the same category, and right now we are all either fighting for extreme change to destroy the slave ship, or you are either a willing slave or a slave driver. So yes, we are bisecting and parting ways, but this is because I don't think we have enough time to try and wake these people up. We are at the end, and so for the dark side, for you bad guys, let me just say, you're cunts. Enjoy the song.
ดวงอะไรที่ดีไม่เห็นมีตัวตนเลยนั้นที่เขาเรียกว่าดวงนะดวงอะไรกันถ้ายิ่งเก่าก็ยิ่งมันเขาเรียกขี้กลาดพุ่งเดือนมีดวงใครว่าของดีดวงที่ทำไมมันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันดวงอะไรที่ดังที่คนหวังว่าใส่ดวงนี้จะเด่นเห็นพูดกันกลายเกลื่อนที่เห็นมานะพื้นที่ดวงมีดวงใครว่าของดีดวงที่ทำไมมันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคนจะบ่นถึงดวงหมายเอาดวงนั้นมาเป็นที่ตั้งก็ดวงมีจริงๆแล้ววิ่งแง่หน้าแง่หลังวิ่งหาสตังค์และที่จะกันวิ่งแง่หน้ามีดวงแต่ว่าของดีดวงที่ทำไมมันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคันคัน ดวงอะไรที่ดีไม่เห็นมีตัวตนเลยนั้นที่เขาเรียกว่าดวงนะดวงอะไรกันถ้ายิ่งเก่าก็ยิ่งมันเขาเรียกขี้กลากพุ่งเดือนมีดวงใครว่าของดีดวงที่ทำไมมันคัน